Peace, family. So today's message is for the chosen ones. This message is for those who want to grow, who want to evolve, who recognize that we are our highest selves in real time. As long as we show up and just be the person that we know we're meant to be, right? And so the main message that I'm hearing currently is that everything wants to work out in our favor. Everything is here so that we can achieve our dreams, achieve our goals, achieve our desires. We just have to allow nature to run its course, allow for things to work out in our favor, right? We receive so many signs, so many ideas, so many downloads or, whatever you resonate with. We receive so much and so much is happening around us. We just have to open our minds, open our perception in a way that allows it to better our situation rather than harm our situation, right? We all know that the mind is very powerful. Seeing a situation as positive can expand our reality versus seeing a situation as negative can condense our reality and make things a lot worse, right? And when it's said that everything wants to work in our favor, it's like our ideas, our goals, all of the things that want to be manifested, they are alive because they want to come into the physical plane, right? It's all in the mental right now. It's all in the imaginal world. It's all in the spirit realm, and it wants to come into the physical. We just have to allow it to be manifested, right? And by allowing, what does allowing look like? Allowing looks like taking action. Looks like having faith in oneself, having faith in source, having faith in God, having faith in all that you know to be true, right? If we get an idea to create a podcast, yet we don't take the steps to create the podcast because of a bunch of negative thoughts of, oh, I'm not ready, or I don't have the right equipment, that's going to condense our reality, and the universe cannot work in our favor because we aren't working in our own favor, right? But working in our favor looks like starting that podcast, using our phone and just showing up and taking action and recognizing that we're good. You feel me? As long as we walk the path, as long as we take action on that which needs our attention, as long as we show up in full confidence and have faith that everything will work out as it's meant to work out, then everything will continue to work in our favor. We will continue to evolve, continue to grow, and we receive all of the answers that we need as we take action, because when we take action, that's when things start to move. That's when the external plane starts to shift in reaction to our energy, in reaction to, our momentum, because we are that powerful. We affect the environment around us just as the environment affects us. But as we move consciously, as we move with intention, we can have more impact, more control over how the environment is shaped, as opposed to having negative thoughts and feeling inferior and feeling like we can't control anything, right? There's definitely a lot that we can't control in this reality, but because there's so much that we can't control, it makes it that much more important, that much more powerful when we do focus on the things that we can control, like our own actions. How we react to certain situations determine how many different things play out. And, we've been down this path many times of, having an idea, recognizing that we need to take action on it, and we simply either take action or we don't. Those that take action on a consistent basis and don't give up on the journey that they are walking, they will always succeed. And those that don't take action, those that, only follow motivation, those that, quit after a little while, they won't succeed, right? But just recognize that even if you do quit, even if you do take a step back from that which is aligned, you can always find your way back to the destined path, to the aligned path, as long as you have the intention, as long as you move from the heart, you trust in your intuition, and you recognize who you truly are, how powerful you are, and what you're capable of, right? Because it's like we have so much power within us that needs to be expressed, that needs to be expanded upon, because that is how we create the life that we desire. That is how we create the life that we want to live. And living in this knowing of self empowerment, it's like we become invincible. There's nothing that we can't achieve. There's nothing that can't be manifested, right? Because we move with clarity, we move with source, we move with power, and all great things have to start from somewhere. Empires come from just a thought, and then after that thought, we start to get an image of the empire, and then we start to recognize different tools that's needed to build the empire, and then we start to take action. We start to put different pieces together, right? And even along the journey of manifesting the thing that we desire, it may not be what we expect it to be. The journey is more than likely going to be different than our expectations, right? Because the expectations that we have these expectations before we even start walking the path, right? But as we walk the path, more is revealed to us. We receive more as we walk the path. And as we receive more, the image in our minds start to slightly change, right? We might have to shift and refine the blueprint. But just because we shift, just because we must adapt, just because things aren't exactly what we expected it to be, does not mean that it's not still working in our favor, right? Recognize that as we are moving towards the light, as we are moving towards the goal, you feel me, we're on the path. And along the path, we come across different obstacles. We come across different walls, different enemies, different things that want to cause us to stop walking the path, right? But as we maneuver, as we overcome these obstacles, we may have to shift directions a little bit, but at the end of the day, we're still on the path. We're still moving towards the goal, towards the dream, towards the vision. And yes, I said that everything is working in our favor. Yeah, I just mentioned that there are going to be obstacles. There are going to be enemies along the way. Just because it's an enemy, just because it's an obstacle does not mean that it's not still working in our favor, right? Because recognize that to get to the manifested destination that we want to get to, let's just say we have to be at level 50, right? If we just walk the straight path to the desired destination with no obstacles, with no enemies to overcome, we won't level up, right? We need the enemies, we need the obstacles, we need the uncomfortability to help us to grow, to help us to shift, to help us to evolve to reach that level 50, which is required to manifest that which we truly desire. You feel me? And it's like as we shift our perspective, as we shift how things show up in our energy field, that's when life truly starts to feel like a game. That's when everything starts to move smoothly, because we just know, like, at the end of the day, we're good. At the end of the day, we're flowing. At the end of the day, we're glowing. And no matter what happens, we gonna win. No matter what happens, we gonna overcome this. No matter what happens, we're still on the path moving towards our destiny. We're still achieving the goal, achieving the vision. You feel me? And nothing outside of us can disrupt the path that we're walking, can disrupt the vision that we have. Because we are one with Source. We are one with our truth. And we have inner peace. You feel me? Because we recognize the truth. When we know the truth, we can't be stopped, you heard? So, I'm gonna stop it there. If you made it this far, shout out to you. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how you feel, where you at on your journey. Are you currently manifesting your dreams? I know I am, you feel me, and I'm enjoying the journey 100%. You feel me? We all have dark days, low points, but as long as we keep showing up, as long as we keep walking the path, things will always be good once again. So with that, I'm out. One love. Peace.